question?
I have one more question. Keith, you mentioned Terrence. You mentioned the dogs in the division, yourself and Errol. Right now, there are those who would think that Terrence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. He's probably getting ready to invade welterweight waters. He'll beat Jeff Horn, and then that will give either one of you a situation to really look at. Right now, there seems to be an impasse with certain fighters not being able to fight other fighters. I guess Lou and Steven, this is a question for you too. How difficult would that fight be to make? Because it would definitely be relevant if Terrence Crawford were to go and beat Jeff Horn and then become the WBO welterweight champion. I'm sure neither one of you would shy away from that fight. Errol, you've talked about it before, and Keith, I'm sure. What are your thoughts regarding that?
Yeah, you know, he's got a lot of respect for the way he's dominated 140 and the things that he's done with his fights. You know, to me, what really put him on the scene was Gamboa, who really was a smaller guy. And, you know, Gamboa has a little bit of issues. You know, I'm just gonna say hands down. You know, he like to say man down, but Gamboa has an issue. It's called hands down. And you know, Crawford dominated the fight. It was slightly competitive, and then he really just started to take over. And he whacked up a lot of other people, but he ain't whack up a welterweight yet. You know, you want to talk about making him relevant? He does need to make himself relevant in this division.
We're talking about him, that makes him relevant. Like, I'm not saying he's as good as you, but he's definitely a solid
I
name.
mean, he's a 140 undisputed champion. When he can come up in this weight division and pretty much fight anybody in the top 10, he deserves that for the most part. And I understand that. But we are so flooded with talent, he is going to have to make himself relevant 147 before he gets his hands on us for the most part. You know, he's not simply just going to be able to say some names and get the fights that he wants. He's going to have to walk into the division, put a hurting on some dudes, and make himself relevant. That's how I truly feel. And when he is a relevant 147 pounder, if he is a champion, then, you know, then we can really look at him and negotiate, because, you know, you're saying, you know, I know he's high ranked in the pound for pound list and things of that nature. So people think he's the best fighter in the world. You know, like I said, real talk, a lot of people think they know who the real dog is at 147, but we don't know. We don't know. There's work to be done in this division, and it's a beautiful thing that you guys will get to watch it.
Let's also see when offers start getting thrown around, if they ever get thrown around, let's see if they're really like, come and fight Miguel Cotto, or if they're come and sign a promotional contract with Golden Boy Promotions to fight Miguel Cotto. So let's see if Terrence Crawford is, let's fight Terrence Crawford, or let's see if it's come and sign with Bob Arum if you want to get a chance to fight Terrence Crawford, because those are two very different things.
Quick question for Errol.
Just be the last question, then we're going to have Deontay Wilder's going to come down. We'll let the welterweights.
Errol, so we're here tonight to your left. Heck of a lineup of 154-pound champions tonight. Do you have a timeline in your mind if a fight with Keith for some reason can't get made, let's say in the next 9 to 12 months, that you would say you're going to go to 154 and take on some of those big guys there?
You know, I said that before, but I mean, 147 needs to be cleaned out first before it's to jump at 154. I mean, if it's the right opportunity and I can fight for a title at 154, I may consider it. I have no problem making 154. So, you know, but right now, my whole focus is on the 147 division. It's a lot of great fighters, a lot of great names, and I feel like, you know, my legacy, you know, will be solidified with dominating the 147 division and being the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. So I got to put 100% focus in that first before I move up and try to conquer another weight.